Aisha Felder.
All right, 23MM 289AW, trespass in structure or conveyance. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. I'll stay your bond.
There's an
All right,
offer of an adjudication credit time served and no return to 2550 North Hiawassee Road, and she would like to accept and enter plea of no contest.
all right. Are you pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest.
I'll accept your no contest plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days. Your costs, I'll give you a year, and there'll be a no return to 2550 North Hiawassee Road. 30 days to appeal. Good luck.
Pay online. Go that way, that way.
Your name, ma'am?
Armstrong.
23MO 623AO, open container. Stay the bond. Point the PD.
You said 26 AL, Your Honor?
623 AO.
There's an offer to resolve, sorry, yes, I'm here. There's an offer to resolve of an adjudication credit time served. Right here. And she would like to accept and enter plea of no contest.
All right.
Yes.
All right, ma'am. Guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Accept your no contest plea. Adjudicate you guilty. Sentence you to 2 days of credit for 2 days. Your cost and filing fee, I'll give you a year to pay, 30 days to appeal. Good luck.
No, it's done.
Your name, sir?
Kyle Conley.
What is it?
Kyle Conley.
All right, 23 CF 5886AO, second degree murder with a firearm. By arrest warrant, according to this, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. State any input with regards to release.
Your Honor, this is a life felony. He's not entitled to a bond. State would ask he be held no bond.
All right, any input from the defense?
We'll have Arthur here, Your Honor.
All right, we'll state at no bond, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons.
I don't have the second degree. I just have the one they have them for this one.
Your name, ma'am?
Imani Davis.
23 CF 5855AO, you're here on a grand theft, third degree, greater than 750, less than 5,000. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
I could hire a private attorney if
All right.
that's okay.
All right, your bond's set at $500, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Your name, ma'am?
Jennifer Hart.
All right, you're out on bond on a criminal mischief greater than 200, less than 1,000, battery DV 22MM 3295AO. You're here today in 23 CF 834AO, possession of MDMA ecstasy. By arrest warrant, according to this, your bond is set at $1,000 with conditions, no drugs without a valid prescription. I'll appoint the public defender, I'll stay your bond, and I'll take no action on the case that you're out on bond.
You clear to that? Okay, okay, he took no action anyway, but it's probably not showing yet. I saw it.
Your name, sir?
Joshua Oliver.
23 CF 5425AO, one count of lewd or lascivious molestation with a victim under the age of 12. One count of lewd or lascivious behavior exhibition of an 18-year-old with a victim less than 16 years old. Sir, according to your financial affidavit, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. The public defender is for individuals who are indigent, okay? So I can't appoint a lawyer to represent you. According to this warrant, your bond's set at $100,000 on count one, $250 on count two, with conditions, no contact with the alleged victim or her family, and no unsupervised contact with minors. And I'll reduce count one to $50,000 for you, stay count two, okay?
Your Honor, count one is actually a PBL. It's actually a life felony.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, he's not entitled to a bond.
Oh,
So
what do you want?
Leave it as is.
what?
We can just leave it as is, Your Honor.
I mean, I'll do what you want. What do you want?
Oh, if you do what I want.
do
He's
you
not
want?
entitled to a bond, so I would ask that he be held no bond.
Okay.
May I speak?
Yes. Well, let me say this. Understand that as a defendant, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Right. He does not qualify for a PD. Right. Yeah.
Your Honor, all I'm saying is that, I cut concrete. I have a good job. I just need, next time I was working, it was Sunday night. I would like a lower bond because I don't have family to being able to
So here's the deal, you're actually not entitled to a bond, which means you might have to sit in here without a bond. All right, and the state's asking me to do that,
This is crazy, man.
all right? So, I'm inclined to grant their request and then find a lawyer, and a lawyer can get a hearing in front of the judge that's actually assigned to the case, and then they can see, what they can do for a bond.
But then that's not making, I can't get a public defender because you said I make too much.
Right.
Now that I'm being here for this whole time, I'm not gonna have a job, so therefore I'm making nothing.
So, it depends. I mean, you could walk out of here and hire a lawyer, and a lawyer could have a hearing for you on Monday.
How can I walk out here with no bond?
Well, you're not walking out of here with a bond, you can use a phone and call and hire a lawyer. People hire lawyers all the time from inside the jail.
How, with no money coming in to make it? It's not making sense to me. If I'm not making any money to give to a lawyer
Uh-huh.
to represent me, then therefore I can't.
Your Honor, given that he's gonna lose his job since he's being held on no bond,
Well, I don't know if he is. I explained to him that he could call and hire a lawyer today. Today's
Okay.
Friday. And that lawyer could have a hearing and get you a bond on Monday. I don't know how long you're gonna be in here. If you want, I'll set a status hearing in 2 weeks and you can come back in 2 weeks. If you're still sitting in here and you've lost your job and you don't have a lawyer, then maybe you'll qualify for the public defender. Thank you. No bond. All right, ma'am, your name?
Miranda Watkins.
All right, 23 CF 4050 AO, sale and delivery of cocaine via restaurant. According to this, your bond is set at $2,500. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. And,
Can I get one? Can you please?
I'll stay your bond.
Can you ask? Can you ask? Can you ask? I didn't know it was right.
Yeah, let's set him for a status on,
Can you ask?
yeah, that's fine.
Your Honor, she would like an ROR in this case.
Please.
All right.
I don't have history.
So it's a sale and delivery of cocaine. What's her history?
I don't have it on my sheet. Mine's is blank, so.
She has, her last failure to, she has 6 failure to appears. The last one was back in 2019. Her last conviction was back in December of 2019 for possession of
All right,
heroin.
I'm not inclined to ROR. I'll stay at 2,500.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your name, sir? Your name?
Name?
Gregory Boyd.
What happened to Latranya Allen?
Allen is currently on mental health status.
All right, 23 MM 3085 AO, temporarily appoint waiver roll.
Waive.
All right, I'll stay count 1, reduce count 2 to 100, no return to the scene. All right, and then your name again, sir?
Gregory Boyd.
All right, 23 MM 2890, you're out on bond on a petty theft. You're here today in 23 MM 3075, petty theft, resisting officer without violence. And you're also here on 23 MM 2890. That's the case, you're out on bond. Looks like the bail bondsman came off of that. So your bond on that is set at 500, and it's set at 500 on the count 1 of the new case and 100 on count 2 of the new case. No contact with Shender Roy B. Charles. Appoint the public defender on both your cases. Yeah.
The out on bond.
You,
Right here.
I apologize. With regard to the new law, Your Honor, can I ask
I know,
you
but I
that no
went 500
return?
on that and 100 on the other one.
Yeah, you can bond on it.
I'm sorry?
No return and the new law, Your Honor?
That's fine.
Judge, you take no action on the case out on bond.
Just for today.
It looks like the bail bondsman came off of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's got 100.
That's the defense. So that's that one.
No contact with the co-defendant and no return. We got it sorted out.
Okay.
So he was out on bond, but the bail bondsman looks
I'll
like
let the
came off
attorney
of
know
that,
too.
so he just got a $500 bond on that one.
Connor Hamilton Jermaine is on behavior status.
All right, out on bond or ROR, possession of cocaine here today, trespass 23 MM 3057. Appoint the public defender. He did fill out a PD form.
Roll, Your Honor.
All right, well,
Johnson Keenan, also on behavior status, Your Honor.
23 MM 3058 AO, temporarily appoint.
Waive.
All right, review the affidavit, found probable cause, and I'll stay it at 500, no contact with the alleged victim. All right, your name? 23MM 3071 AO larceny. Review the affidavit, found probable cause. Also 23MM 3070, so 3070 and 3071. Review that affidavit, found probable cause. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney? Hamilton was behavior. Public defender, do you have a job? Do you have any sources of income? No? All right. Appoint the office of the public defender and I'll stay your bonds.
No return?
No return to the scene.
Target.
I stayed them and no return on both. Thank you.
Your Honor, I had PCS to this case as well.
Which one? Bailey?
Mm-hmm.
What's your name, ma'am?
Haley Ruder McDonald.
23MM 3072 AO resisting. What do you want to tell me? Appoint the public defender.
It appears that these are, she's already been charged with the resisting in 2023 MM 3072. They charged her again in 2023 MM 2913 AO. They're both the exact same incident, same date, same time, same facts. So I would ask that you, the add-on that you ROR, as she's already been charged with that.
State?
I'm looking at it now, Your Honor.
All right.
Felony? Okay.
It does appear to be the same, Your Honor.
All right, we'll go ROR, no PC. All right, your name, ma'am?
Nyanka Camille.
23MM 1806 AO, violation of pretrial release conditions on a domestic violence case. Is this something that I signed the other day?
Yeah, let me see what the notes.
I
Yeah,
may have signed this in my office yesterday after work.
but the case was no info on, May 2nd, so they want to know if you can ROR her due
that's
to
what
the
they're
case being closed, Your Honor?
ROR on this one?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go ahead and ROR.
Collins Dorothy, Your Honor.
Yep.
Refuse her appearance.
22MM 3067 AO, failure to appear or trespass. All right, failed to appear for competency 417, appoint the public defender.
What was the reason? I'm sorry.
Refusal. All right, your name, sir?
Dante Linares.
23MO 624 AO, disorderly conduct, review the affidavit. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
I represent myself.
All right, I'll stay your bond at 250. Is there an offer?
Huh?
I'm seeing if there's an offer to resolve your case.
There was an offer, Your Honor. Actually, we were gonna ask for an ROR because he has no history.
What's the
I'm sorry,
offer?
isn't he representing
Yeah,
himself?
he doesn't
I
have
know,
to be.
I know.
What's the offer?
The offer was a withholding credit time served. If he would like an ROR, Your Honor, I have no objection.
All right, do you want to resolve your case today, or you want me to RR and give you a date to come back?
No, releasing the name, remember we talked about?
We'll RR him.
RR. We're releasing my own name.
Got it.
Yeah. All right, so I can go home now?
Yes, I'll give you a court date.
Oh, thank you, man.
That way, sir.
That's all right.
You too.
Bye. Your name, sir?
Thomas Nelson.
23MO 625 AO, open container, state misdemeanors.
And there's an offer to resolve with an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and court costs.
All right, appoint the public defender.
I'd like to accept and enter plea of no contest.
Is this 264?
I have 625.
Oh,
I have
Thank you.
265 as well. Thank you.
Jamie is, Steve Jewett's Jamie. Oh, it's, I know who it is. It's, what is it? Debbie. All right, are you pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Accept your no contest plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days of credit for 2 days. Your costs and a filing fee, I'll give you a year to pay, 30 days to appeal. Good luck. Your name, sir?
I see the pen.
22 CT 1450 AE, failure to appear operating a motor vehicle.
And
When
there's-
is- Oh, go on.
There's an offer of an adjudication credit time served, and he would like to accept and enter
Alright.
plea of no contest.
He's on probation.
This occurred prior to him being placed on probation, Your Honor.
Okay. You pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Accept your no contest plea. How many days? We don't know. Adjudicate you guilty and costs, I'll give you a year to pay. Francois, clean out. Please, please. Ooh, felony's thick. Your name, ma'am?
Nikita Adams.
All right. 23
have
CF 5877.
Sorry. PC as well, Your Honor.
Okay. Carjacking with a deadly weapon, I'll appoint the, appoint the public defender. What do you want to tell me?
Based on this affidavit, Your Honor, my client, it does not state that my client did anything other than being in the vehicle at the time the incident occurred. There's no facts to indicate that she participated in any way, so I would argue there's no probable cause.
State?
Your Honor, I agree with defense. I just can't figure out if I need 24 hours to get something else or if there's just no PC. Can I get the 24 hours, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
Not today. I just argue there's no probable cause.
All right, we'll roll it to tomorrow morning at 11.
If they can't find anything, we have to be released. Okay.
Your name, sir? Your name?
James Henderson.
23 CF 5862 AO, carrying a concealed firearm, resisting officer without violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender, and I'll stay your bond on count 1, count 2, I'll reduce to 100.
Who's the Sharana? I'm sorry.
Anderson? All right, ma'am, your name?
Kayla Bronson.
23 CF 5847 AO, fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, failure to obey. And you're also here in 23 MM 109 AE, resisting officer. Review those affidavits, found probable cause, point the public defender, state any input with regards to release on count 1.
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
We'd ask for pretrial release, Your Honor.
All right, I will give you pretrial release on both cases.
Any conditions, Judge? No.
Don't run from the police.
John. He's currently on mental health status.
All right, ROR 23 CF 3217 AO, possession of MDMA ecstasy. What is it? Is that another one? Also out on bond in 23 MO 339 AO. Here today in 23 CF 5884 AO, possession of MDMA ecstasy. I'll appoint the public defender. I'll set his bond at 1,000 on the new case, and I'll take no action on the case that he's out on ROR and bond.
Thank you.
What was the reason?
MH. Your name, sir?
Jason Cooper.
23 CF 5879 AO, possession of cocaine. Review the affidavit, found probable cause. Appoint the public defender. You're also here in 21 CT, and I'll stay your bond at 1,000. You're also here in 21 CT 6537 on a failure to appear on a driving while license suspended. According to that, your bond is set at no bond, and I'll appoint the public defender on that case if you don't already have the public defender. Thank you. Your name, ma'am?
That's it.
All right, out on bond on a grand theft of a motor vehicle, 23 CF 1486 AO. Here today in 23 CF 5815 AO, grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, possession of MDMA ecstasy. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. I'll set, bond on the grand theft, third degree at 5,000 and the MDMA at 150, and no action on the out on bond. Your name, ma'am?
Anaya Gaskin.
What happened to Reginald Footman?
We don't have that, Judge.
230-11509?
Bonded.
Bonded? All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Anaya Gaskin.
22 CF 1231 AO, failure to appear on a possession of methamphetamine. According to this, your bond is set at $2,000. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
Donna Glasper, Paul, I refuse his appearance.
Glasper refused. 23 CF 5853 AO, possession of methamphetamine, temporarily appoint, waiver roll.
Waive.
All right, we'll stay the bond.
Rena Arnold, Ricardo refused.
All right, 23 CF 5818 AO, temporarily appoint, waiver roll.
Waive.
All right. State, having found, PC, state, any input with regards to release on count 4? A lot of aliases for this gentleman.
No input, Your Honor. He is entitled to a bond.
Any input from the defense?
It's a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
All right, count 1, I'll set at $100 or $150, count 2, $150, count 3, $150, count 4, $7,500, count 5, $150, count 6, $150. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Sorry, did I say that too slow? Your name, sir?
Emmanuel Jackson Henry.
23 CF 3364 AO, possession of methamphetamine, MDMA ecstasy, you're out on bond on that. 23 CF 3351 AO, possession of MDMA ecstasy. 23 CF 5848 AO, possession of MDMA ecstasy, possession of drug paraphernalia. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
What can I say? May I please have a put you on release?
Well, first I want to know what you want to do about a lawyer, and then we can figure out if I'm going to talk to you or talk to your lawyer. Did you want to represent yourself today, hire a private attorney, or see if you qualify for the public defender?
I would say like I would love to represent myself.
All right. I'm not inclined to give you pretrial release since you're out on bond on 2 cases for the same offense. So I'm gonna set your bond at 5,000 on count 1. I'll reduce count 2 to 100. And no action on the out on bonds. Your name, sir?
Reggie Howard.
All right, 23 CF 5878 AO, carjacking with a deadly weapon. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any input from the state?
This is a first-degree felony punishable by life. State would ask defendant be held no bond.
Any input from the defense?
We'll have Arthur here, Your Honor.
All right, I'll state it, no bond, no contact with the alleged victim or co-defendant. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons.
He has reporting requirements, Your Honor.
All right, you also have reporting requirements, so I'll give you 48 hours from your release to report your address. Your name, sir?
Julius Hurd.
23 CF 5713 AO, trafficking in fentanyl greater than 4 grams. Knowingly possessing manufactured drugs, sale and delivery of fentanyl, unlawful use of two-way communication device via arrest warrant. According to this, count 1 is set at 100,000, count 2, 250, count 3, 250, count 4, 250, and I'll stay your bonds and appoint the public defender.
Your Honor, my client can't afford $100,000. Would you be willing to decrease to $50,000?
I feel like the bond schedule has that higher than 100, doesn't it? So he's already getting a discount, I think.
Is it $250? I don't know what it is for fentanyl.
How much, do you know, how much was found, Your Honor?
I don't recall.
I think it was like 20,
Oh, no. it's
one.
right then.
It was 21.
Yeah, it's right.
Okay, thank you.
Your name, ma'am? What is it? All right, out on bond, ag assault with a deadly weapon, criminal mischief of 1,000 or more, 22 CF 12106. Today, 23 CF 5895 AO, aggravated manslaughter of a child, followed by 6 counts of neglect of a child, followed by 1 count of culpable negligence via arrest warrant. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond on each count. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. State any input with regards to release.
With regard to the new law, Your Honor, the first one is a first-degree felony, but she is entitled to a bond, so set bond on all of those. With regard to the out on bond, formal charges have been filed. She has pretrial set for June 14th. The judge is Judge Harris, and I would ask that you revoke that bond and hold her at no bond.
All right, any input from the state, or I mean the defense?
Your Honor, I ask that you set bonds on the new law, and if you don't have permission from Judge Harris, take no action on the out on bond.
All right, I'll set your bond on count 1 at $100,000, count 2, 150, count 3, 150, count 4, 150, count 5, 150, count 6, 150, count 7, 150. No contact, no return, or no contact with any children under the age of 18 without supervision. No return to the scene. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. And on the case that you're out on bond, at this point, I'll take no action on that case, but I'll notify Judge Harris about it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. Your name, sir?
Christopher Lawson.
You're here, 23 CF 5898 AO, armed, robbery armed with a deadly weapon. You're also here in, I think I got this right. 23 FW 133A, a fugitive from justice warrant out of Ohio. According to that, point the public defender, with regards to that warrant out of Ohio, your bond is set at no bond on that case. The fugitive warrant, I don't know what you call them, team, will come talk to you about that. State any input with regards to robbery armed with a deadly weapon.
Your Honor, I don't know if it will make a difference with regard to the bond. When I reviewed the affidavit, I didn't see the deadly weapon. It's still an F2 as a robbery. Barring that, I have no objection to bond or any other input.
All right.
So, Your Honor, I just ask that you find PC for the robbery and set a bond.
All right, robbery with a fire, or the robbery, I'll set the bond at $10,000. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, no return, and no contact with the alleged victim. Your name, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Lee, Harry Lee, bonded.
All right,
McNeil, Anitra, bonded.
how about Lauren Mullen-Miss?
Molimus, right here.
Your name?
Lauren Molimus.
All right, grand theft of a motor vehicle, 16 counts. ROR. Carrying a concealed weapon, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, no motorcycle endorsement, possession of meth, possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting, 23 CF 1064 AO, ROR on that one. Here today, 23 CF 5840 AO, grand theft, 3rd degree of a motor vehicle. You're also here in 23 CT 2972 AO and 23 CT 2973 AO, duelist and no motorcycle license. And 23 CF 5902 AO, no motorcycle license, fleeing and elude, operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. And 23 CF 5851 AO, aggravated battery on an officer firefighter. Point the public defender on all those cases. State any input with regards to release on the fleeing and eluding.
No, Your Honor.
Anything from the defense?
Just a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
All right, on case number 5840, grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, I'll set your bond at 15,000 on that one. With regards to the 2972, I'll set your bond at 2,500 on count one and $100 on count two. And in 5902, I'll set count one at $100, count two at 15,000, count three at $100. And I'll take, and then the aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer, I'll set that at $5,000, no contact with the alleged victim, and I'll take no action on the add-on bonds.
I apologize, Your Honor, and I don't know the case number. The second fleeing and attempting to elude that also had the no motorcycle
Endorsement?
license. Yeah, and the dwellers, what was the bond on the first?
Sorry.
Go on.
Your Honor, would you be willing to lower the $15,000 bonds?
No.
He said no.
Which,
So it's the one that's got three counts, the fleeing and attempting to elude and the dwellers and the no motorcycle endorsement.
100 on the misdemeanors and 15,000 on the,
Thank you.
Is that what I put? Yeah. All right.
Moore, George refused.
All right, ROR, assault aggravated with intent to commit a felony. That's 23 CF 2915 AO, 23 CF 29993 AO, intimidation, threat to do bodily harm, possession of ammo by a convicted felon, simple assault. And then 23 CF 5863 AO, I'm gonna roll him to tomorrow.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, your name, ma'am? 23 CF 5852 AO, battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting officer without violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. I'll state count one and reduce count two to $100. No contact with the alleged victim.
Your Honor, we
This is she.
Oh, she does,
qualifies for
yeah.
Pretrial release.
You want that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll give you a PTR with the same condition.
What was the condition, Judge? I'm sorry.
No contact with the alleged victim. Your name, ma'am? And your last name? 2023 CF 5854 AO, carrying a concealed firearm, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, possession of drug paraphernalia. Review that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender.
And Your Honor, she qualifies for pretrial
I
release.
only have one question about Miss Ott. I believe the code, if I'm not mistaken, was Niles. And she just came from Georgia. Let me see. My notes state that she's living in a home with the co-defendant, which I think is Niles, if I'm not mistaken. They're both trans, then it says that, as they are transient, defendant states that she moved to Florida and will not be returning to Georgia. And she's been here for about 2 weeks, so I'm kind of unsure about the address part, because she just moved from Georgia.
You know your address here?
I'm homeless. I'm staying in a hotel right now.
Qualify?
Yes, okay. So you won't have a mailing address? So you reach your court dates, that's the concerning part. Okay, so we'll do PTR, because I'll work on that, and I'll just explain to her that you're gonna have to get an address.
Okay.
But you don't want to miss the court, to be a,
All right, and if she doesn't qualify, we'll bring her back?
we'll make it happen.
Okay.
Any conditions you want or
Conditions,
no?
Judge?
No contact with the co-defendant and, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons.
You're welcome.
Or drugs.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Good
Donna
luck.
Patrick Marvin, he's currently on mental health status.
23 CF 5869, temporarily appoint waiver roll.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, state count one, count two, 100, count three, 100.
Rivera, Dwayne, mental health status.
23 CF 5904 AO, temporarily appoint waiver roll.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, found PC, and I'll stay the bonds.
We
He
Oh,
qualifies.
yeah, it does.
I would ask for pretrial release, Your Honor.
All right,
Any conditions, Judge?
don't do drugs. How about Roland? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, 22 CF 9892 AO, failure to appear on a resisting officer with violence. According to this, your bond is set at no bond.
Is that the one?
Do you have a lawyer on this case?
No.
There's a public defender.
Okay. Correct.
Christian Rosa, he refused his appearance.
23 CF 5861 AO, temporarily appoint waiver roll.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, I'll stay count 1 and reduce count 2 to 500, having found probable cause. Your name, sir?
Daniel Scott.
22 CF 7909 AO, failure to appear on a petty theft. Coordinates failed to appear for pretrial conference or trial management conference on 10/6/22. Your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender. Looks like you got some holds out of Seminole, Indian River.
Yes.
All right. All right, your name, sir?
Scott.
23 CF 5906 AO, possession of firearm by a convicted felon, possession of ammo by a convicted felon via arrest warrant. According to this, your bond is set at no bond to be set at initial appearance, no weapons. State any input?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set your bond at $5,000 on count 1 and $150 on count 2. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Your name, ma'am?
Andre Sharper.
23 CF 5827 AO, aggravated assault, resisting officer without violence. And you're also here in 23 CF 5828 AO, aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer, resisting officer without violence.
And is that
Review those affidavits, found probable cause, point the public defender.
Your Honor?
On,
I would have,
go for it.
it's the same,
I think it's 2 different people if I remember.
but so I'd ask that you ROR as to one of the resistings without, state can only move forward on one resisting when they're all stemming from the same incident, regardless of how many officers are involved.
State.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, on 5827, we'll stay count 1 at 1,500, count 2 at 100. And on 5828, we'll stay count 1 at 5,000 and ROR count 2. No contact with the alleged victims. Your name, sir?
Brayton Simmons.
23 CF 35830, possession of a controlled substance. According to this warrant, your bond set at $1,000. I'll appoint the office of the public defender and stay your bond.
He qualifies for pretrial, Your Honor.
Yeah, if he wants that, you can have it.
Yes, he would like pretrial.
Any conditions, Judge?
Don't do drugs. All right, your name, ma'am?
Smith.
23 CF 5816 AO, possession of cocaine, trespass in a conveyance. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, and I'll stay your bond on count 1 and count 2. I'll set at $100. Your name, sir?
Gerard Smith.
All right, your ROR on a possession of cocaine, controlled substance, and fentanyl, 22 CF 1395 AO. You're here today in 23 CF 2757 AO, fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer with licensed sirens. Driving while license suspended as a habitual traffic offender via arrest warrant. According to this, your bond is set at no bond on count 1, 2,500 on count 2. And I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. State any input with regards to release on the fleeing and eluding.
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
It's a reasonable bond.
All right, I'll set count 1 at 5,000, reduce count 2 to 150. And no action on the ROR. Your name, sir?
Johnny Curtis Smith, sir.
What is it?
Johnny Curtis Smith.
All right, 21 CF 12564 AO, failure to appear on a grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. According to this, you failed to appear for a status hearing on April 22nd. Your bond is set at $4,000 on that case. Do you have the public defender or lawyer?
No, sir.
PD's already been appointed? Yep, you already have the PD.
Young Lamel Smith is not here due to medical reasons.
I have, is that Nahama
Oh, who you on? Nehemiah, bonded,
bonded? Next one I have is David Strayer.
medical,
All right, 23 CF 5873 AO, attempted carjacking, resisting officer without violence, temporarily appoint waiver roll.
Waive.
Stay as bond on count 1, count 2, set at $100. No contact with the alleged victim. All right, your name, sir?
Corey Sitch.
All right, 23 CF 5839 AO, fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer with lights and sirens activated. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. Any input from the state,
No, Your Honor.
defense?
He would like pretrial release, Your Honor.
All right, we'll give him a pretrial release.
Any conditions, Judge?
Don't run from the police.
Just wait. You gotta go this way.
Your name, sir?
Sylvester?
All right, you're in pretrial release on a battery by strangulation, battery DV, petty theft, criminal mischief greater than 200, less than 1,000. 23 CF 3105 AO, you're out on bond on a fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, possession of cannabis, possession of cocaine, resisting officer, 23 CF 3106 AO. You're here today in 23 CF 5860 AO, possession of cocaine, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver. Review that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender on your new case. Count one, I'll reduce to $150. Count two, I'll set at $7,500. And I'll take no action on the two cases that you're out on.
Tell her. Defense will waive.
All right. 23 CF 5872 AO, possession of cocaine. We'll set at 1,000, having found PC. And 22 CF 1966 AO, failure to appear, the bond set at no bond on that case. Your name?
Ashley Thomas.
22 CF 4582 AO, two failure to appear on a grand theft, third degree, resisting officer without violence. According to this, your bond is set at no bond. Does she have the PD? PD's previously been appointed to represent you. Your name, sir?
Grant Thomas, sir.
22 CF 6612 AO, two failure to appear, possession of paraphernalia and possession of dimethyl something or other.
Drug.
What is it? Your bond on this is set at no bond, with instructions not to be modified by Judge McGinnis. All right. Your name, sir?
Kareem Choler.
2021 CF 11905 AO, possession of a controlled substance. According to this, you failed to appear. Let's see, per order filed on February 20th by Judge Navarro, do not rearrest Eddie Peter Wallace. Well, this isn't Eddie Peter Wallace.
This is Kareem Toller.
I'm Kareem Choler.
Yeah, I don't know, that's what it says on his thing. Doesn't say I can't arrest him, all right, no bond. Appoint the public defender. Do you have another case? Your other case is, do you know who that is, that other person?
Yes, that's my uncle, sir.
It's your uncle? So they keep arresting your uncle thinking it's you?
Yes, sir.
All right, 23, we won't arrest him. 23 CF 5864 AO, possession of MDMA ecstasy, stayed at 1,000, having found probable cause.
All right, but do you have a 21 CF 11905?
Is that a failure to
That's the
appear?
no bond.
That's the no bond.
Oh, because it's a failure to appear, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but for whatever,
It's
what
weird.
is it?
It's a failure to.
I think it
Failure
is.
to appear, right?
I
No?
don't have it as a failure.
Hold on. That's why I thought it was
see
weird.
That's
Let me see.
Hold on, I'm saying like.
I know, but
a failure.
Not about the facts.
I don't have it as a failure to appear.
You do?
It's just a warrant with a zero
I
bond.
think you deserve
It
it.
doesn't say failure to appear.
Yeah, I think you get a bond. I'm just trying to make sure. Keep it says shoot. Yeah. Wrong person. Shoot KPS warrant.
did he fail to appear for arraignment on 2/7?
I'm a little
It
confused.
looks like he missed, what are the court minutes say on February 7th?
They did. Information.
Well, it says capious to remain. Okay, it's still out there. We got the right guy, though. All right. No bond on that one, 1,000 on the other one.
Thank you. Yes.
Your name, ma'am?
Destiny Villanueva.
23 CF 5857 AO, grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle and possession of cocaine. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender, and,
She qualifies for pretrial release, Your
all
Honor.
right.
She would like pretrial release.
All right, we'll go ahead and, give her PTR.
Any conditions, Your Honor?
Don't steal any cars and no contact with, Lawrence Olivier.
That's,
Stop it.
you know that's his name though, right?
What?
That's how he said it.
The last person got PTR
I'm done. That's it.
and no contact with Lawrence Olivier.
Drink your water and get out of here.
Is that a co-defendant, Judge?
Co-defendant.
A co-defendant?
That's, I looked up when he said that, I went,
About me.
So the other,
I can't.
Your mama be so proud of you.
Oh, my God.
who do you have?
Christopher Farr.
All right. All right, your name, sir? All right, 23 CF 5813 AO, robbery with a firearm and grand theft, third degree with a firearm. We rolled you from yesterday to today. For counsel, your name for the record.
Attorney Kamara Williams representing the defendant.
All right, you also have 23 CF 5727 AO, robbery with a firearm, grand theft, third degree of a firearm, grand theft, third degree of a firearm. That's by arrest warrant. According to that warrant, your bond set at no bond on count 1, 3,000 on 2, 3,000 on 3 with conditions. No possession of weapons, no return to shooter's world. State any input with regards to release on either case.
Yes, Your Honor, robbery with a firearm is a first-degree felony punishable by life. State is asking defendant be held no bond for both,
Any input
Charges.
from the defense?
Yes, Your Honor, we'd like to first highlight that the defendant is a good student and he's headed to the Air Force Academy, Air Force, and that he's had no prior criminal history. He has ties to the community. He's not a flight risk. His family has been obviously well aware of the charges based on them hiring us, and so we're asking for the court to give a reasonable bond on the charges. We have statements from the community, it's including his mentor, who is a honored veteran that has been guiding him in this journey, and there are some facts in the case that give light to the fact that he wasn't the main perpetrator and that he's never even handled the weapons. There's some context to the charges. We understand the severity of these charges, but we ask the court to look favorably upon the defendant.
All right, I've reviewed the affidavit in support of the arrest warrant. I've reviewed the affidavit on the case. I'm gonna stay him at no bond, although I have no objection to the judge assigned to the case, setting a reasonable bond for you. No contact with the co-defendants. I'll stay count 2 at 150 in your first case, and then I will reduce counts 2 and 3 in your second case to 150 each. Conditions, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, and no return to the scene.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Your name, sir?
Danny Mercedes.
All right, 23 MM 3029 AO, you're here on one count of trespass on property after warning, reviewed that affidavit, found probable cause. Appoint the public defender. I'll set your bond at 500. We rolled them from yesterday to today because I think there was an offer in this case.
It was, Your Honor.
Yeah.
The offer is a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, no return to the Orlando International Airport without
yeah, without a ticket.
Without a valid
Without a
ticket.
valid ticket.
Yes, Your Honor. And he would like to accept an interplea of no contest.
All right, so there's a whole section.
I believe he lives in Texas. I believe he lives in Denton, Texas. Oh, okay.
He can fly back to Texas if he's got a plane ticket to Texas.
Yes.
All right. All right, sir, is this your signature?
Yes.
Okay. Are you pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest.
No
contest.
No contest.
All right, I'll accept your no contest plea. I'll withhold adjudication. I'll sentence you to 3 days with credit for 3 days. 3, 4, 5. Court costs, I'll give you a year to pay and a no return to Orlando International Airport without a valid plane ticket. 30 days to appeal. Good luck. All right, so then Moaz Shaki, 23 CF 5772 AO is a refusal, but we're just deleting the PTR and staying the bond.
Yes, Your Honor, and if you can just add that he can travel back to Virginia, please.
He can go back to Virginia.
Yes.
It's in there.
I think it's his father.
Oh.
John, I think the caller just wants to know how much.
The bond's $3,500 on count one, $150 on two, and $100 on three. What's your name? Michael Meehan. All right, 23 MM 3054 AO, you're here on 2 counts of battery domestic violence. According to your financial affidavit, sir, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. The public defender is for individuals that are indigent that cannot afford a lawyer, okay? So the purpose of today's hearing is to determine whether or not there's probable cause or a valid reason for your arrest. And if I do find that there's probable cause or a valid reason for your arrest, then to determine conditions of your release. You cannot be released until you see a judge. Today, that's me. Tomorrow, it's her. Do you want to go forward today without a lawyer, or do you want me to roll this to tomorrow, give you 24 hours to hire a lawyer?
I honestly, sir, can't afford one. I know my paper says otherwise, but I do have bills. I can't afford a lawyer.
All right, well, we're past that because I have to make my decision based on this financial affidavit. So the question is today, do you want to go forward without a lawyer, or do you want me to roll this to tomorrow for you to find a lawyer?
I'll go forward.
All right. State any input with regards to release?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So, sir, I'm inclined to set your bond at $500 on count one, $100 on count two with conditions: do not return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Is that acceptable to you, or is there anything that you want me to consider in determining conditions of your release? Understand that as a defendant, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you, so I don't want you to talk about the facts of the case. Is that acceptable, or is there anything you want to tell me?
Is it, I don't know, am I allowed to ask something about release? Is it possible maybe to do like a pre-trial release or like a ROR?
He has a VOP warrant out of North Carolina.
Yeah, so no.
And Your Honor, as a friend of the court, could he have a one-time return with law enforcement?
Yeah, that's fine. 500, 100.
Is that it?
That's it. Good luck. Your name, sir?
Rawson Ruda.
22 MM 651 AW, here on a violation of probation on one count of violation of a domestic violence injunction. That's me. According to this warrant, your bond set at no bond. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. The other day.
So we can.
Do we have our Creole interpreter online?
Good morning, Mona. This is Asian Creole interpreter.
Have you been sworn in today?
No.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to interpret from Creole to English and English to Creole to the best of your ability, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. All right, and if you could repeat everything after me. Your name, sir?
Mon nom, monsieur.
Your name, sir?
Comment est monsieur?
Bonsoir. Bonjour.
Your name?
Comment est?
Bonjour, comment est?
Good morning.
What is your name?
Innocent Daligan.
Comment ou est?
Innocent Daligan.
You are here in case number 23 MM 3069.
Ou la jeudi nan ka 23 MM 03069.
One count of battery domestic violence.
Ou la raison qu'on la parce que chargé avec domestique violence.
Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
Si ou bezwen avocat, ou ka ese pou pran an public defender, ou bien tou ou ka pou an avocat pou tèt ou.
Concernant qui?
What did you want to do about a lawyer, sir?
Ki sa ou vle fè pou avocat, monsieur?
Excusez-moi, s'il te plaît, moi demande raison pour qui ça qui me choisit pour un avocat parce que moi qui c'est pour me barrer qui on.
I'm having a hard time to hear me. You sound very far.
What did he say?
If you get close to the microphone.
A você pi vre micro an.
What you say?
What do you want to do about a lawyer?
Ki sa ou vle fè, monsieur, pou avocat?
Bon, juste c'est un report moi t'ai fait dans gel là juste pendant moi dans gel là et puis bon, yo dit que juste non comment dire encore non station et bah police pendant qu'il m'a l'autre boy et puis yo tout mais non même yo
No, no, he is playing the case.
police station.
What did he say, Madam Interpreter?
He's explaining the case. He's giving details.
All right. So I've asked you 4 or 5 times what you want to do for a lawyer. I'll accept your answer as you want to represent yourself, but I'm going to appoint the public defender temporarily.
Monsieur, mado 5 fois ki sou vle fè pou avocat ou pa repon. Vin suje ke ou apre avocat pou tèt ou, et pou kounya ma ba ou yo public defender temporairement.
Non, écoute, bon Zoubi. Ma prépare pour moi encore, s'il te plaît. Moi, dis comme ça que juste.
I didn't hear what you said, my honor.
Moi, dis comme ça que pendant que moi mal dans police station et et puis juste pendant que mal fait
Any input from the state?
mon report qu'on a eu choisi que juste yo arrêté me mener là.
I went to the police station to get a report. When I get there, I got arrested.
And Your Honor, I just ask that you appoint us. There's competency. He's been deemed incompetent before. And that you set a reasonable bond and give him a one-time return. If, I don't know, if he needs it.
I'll set his bond at $500.
Ma bon caution pour payer pour $600, monsieur.
No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene.
Pi ka ou entre nan kontak avek victime nan, pi ka ou retourne nan scène kote accident te passe ya.
Maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons.
Rete nan kote ki diferent avek victime nan, pi ka ou gen zam, pi ka ou gen zam ki ka tire moun.
You can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings.
Sou vle retourne nan ka la, ou ka retourne un seul fois avek assistance ou police pou ka pran affaire ou.
Thank you.
That's it.
Merci un peu.
Thank you, Madam
Pas que
Interpreter.
machine mal là quand moi pendant que me saute là.
Thank you, my honor. Thank you for your service. Have a wonderful day. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Your name, sir? Your last name, Thomas? 23MM 3039 AO, trespass after warning, reviewed the affidavit, no probable cause, point the public defender, state your bond at 500.
And Your Honor, there was we reset him for a possible plea. The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to 5350 Central Florida Parkway, and he would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
All right.
Thank you. No, that one.
4 hours, 1 day or 2 days. These we rolled from the other day, so you know, you just look at the date. Before midnight or after midnight, so if you resolve them, it's either 2 days or 1 day. We might roll somebody in tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, is this your signature? Guilty or no contest?
Contest.
No contest. No contest.
Accept or no contest plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 with credit for 3. No return to 5350 Central Florida Parkway. Year to pay, 30 days to appeal. Your name, sir?
Your Honor, next on the docket was Chavez, Ricardo.
Yep.
He refused his appearance.
23MM 3052 AO. We rolled him from yesterday to today. Temporarily appoint.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, I just asked for a no return.
All right, we'll set it at $500, no contact, no return to the scene. Your name, sir?
James Graves.
23MM 3046 AO, we rolled you from the other day to today for behavior. Review that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender.
And there's an offer, Your Honor.
All right, and he's out on bond on a trespass, 21MM 3268 AO.
No, Your Honor, that really was closed out, however.
That was, he did plead that out?
Yes.
All right.
The offer to resolve is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and no return to 6500, I believe it's West Sand Lake Road.
Is your signature?
Yes, sir.
Guilty or no contest?
No contest, sir.
I'll accept your no contest plea, I'll adjudicate you guilty. Sentence you to 3 days with credit for 3 days. Your costs, I'll give you a year to pay, and there'll be a no return to 6500 West Sand Lake Road, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
30 days to appeal, good luck.
Yes, sir.
Your name, sir?
Selvin Golden.
What is it?
Selvin Golden.
What happened to Lamel Smith?
Your Honor, that person's not on our docket.
Yeah, he's further down.
That's the one.
Smith is? All right. Sometimes where they can't find them. The inmate number.
Second session?
All right, so Smith, 23 CF 5881 AO, one count of aggravated battery, domestic, great bodily harm, one count of false imprisonment. Temporarily appoint waiver roll.
Sorry, I don't.
Smith, and then he's also got it.
In the docket. He's the last. He's on
Felony second session.
Oh, is he?
Yes. First session.
I have him. Why? Why do I have him?
I'll waive it.
He's also got 23 CF 5880 AO, battery on a law enforcement officer, depriving officer of means of protection and communication, possession of ammo by a convicted felon, robbery, sudden snatching, aggravated assault with a weapon, grand theft, third degree, greater than 750, less than 5,000, and resisting officer with violence. Temporarily appoint, state any input with regards to release on the DV cases.
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set count one at $3,500, count two at $100. No contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. And then on the second case, battery on a law enforcement officer, I'll set at $3,500 and then $150 on each of the additional counts. No contact with the alleged victim, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. It's a convicted felon, so it's supposed to be- All right, your name again, sir?
Selvin Golden.
All right, 23 CF 2247 AO, obstruction of justice, tampering of the witness, and battery domestic via arrest warrant. According to this, your bond is set at $2,000 on count one, no bond on count two, with conditions, no contact with the victim, no return to the scene, and no weapons or firearms. You're also here in 2023 CF 4952 AO, home invasion, robbery with a firearm, aggravated assault with a firearm, aggravated battery, great bodily harm, kidnapping, dating, violence, possession of a firearm, and the commission of a felony, grand theft greater than 750, armed burglary of a dwelling with a firearm, obstructing or hindering communication with a law enforcement officer via arrest warrant. According to this, your bond is set at no bond on all counts to be set at initial appearance. And I'll appoint the public defender in both of your cases, state any input with regards to the battery DV on count one and all the counts in the second case.
No input with regard to the battery, Your Honor. With regard to the home invasion robbery, which is count one, the kidnapping, count four, and the armed burglary of a dwelling with a firearm, count seven, all of those are PBLs, first-degree felonies, punishable by life. State would ask defendant be held, no bond.
All right, any input from the defense?
We're gonna have an Arthur hearing, Your Honor.
All right, so on the first case here, 2247, I'll stay count one, count two, I'll set at $100. No contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Bless you. With your second case, count one, I'll stay at no bond. Count two, I'll set at $5,000. Count three, $150. Count four is no bond. Count five, $150. Count six, $150. Count seven is no bond, and count eight is $100. No contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. So these are. Your name, sir?
Lee Jackson Jr.
All right, 23 3087 AO, one count of violation of a domestic violence injunction. Review that affidavit, found probable cause, appoint the public defender. You're also here in 23 CF 5868 AO, introduction of contraband to a county facility and possession of cocaine. I'll appoint the public defender in both of your cases. Ma'am, your name?
Takeda Hartnett.
All right, ma'am, is there anything that you want to tell me, anything you think the court should consider in determining conditions of his release?
Yes, only reason why I just found out that we have a baby on the way. My car broke down yesterday, and he was the only one who was able to come pick me up, to come get me when my car broke down. So that's the only reason why we had contact. But we do have a baby on the way, so I'm going to put in a motion for that injunction to be released.
Okay. All right, State, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions for her?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Just a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
All right, in the injunction case 3087, I'll set your bond at $500. No contact with the alleged victim. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. In the introduction of contraband to a county facility, I'll stay count 1, count 2 I'll reduce to $150. So,
Contact until it's.
all right, ma'am, do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you for being here.
You have a contempt of court. I don't know what that is. It's at none. We don't deal with those.
Yep. All right, 23 CF 5874 AO, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, domestic, aggravated assault with a firearm, battery, domestic, temporarily appoint, waiver roll.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
This is Alexis. One-time return, Your Honor.
It was mental health, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
I'll set count 1 at $2,500, count 2 at $150, count 3 at $100, no contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. He can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve his belongings. All right, how about Oliver? Your name, sir?
My name is Gabriel Oliver.
All right, 23 CF 5457 AO, aggravated battery on a pregnant person via probable cause order. According to this, your bond is set at no bond with conditions, no contact directly with the victim, co-defendant, or witness. Maintain separate residence, do not return to the scene, do not possess any weapons or firearms. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Now this one you can change because it's a DP, whenever there's a bond on it.
That's not what I have.
All right, any input from the state with regards to release?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Do you live together? You don't live together? Just a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set it at $1,500 and stay the conditions.
But I didn't see that.
Grand jury or something. Your name, ma'am?
Sapona.
All right, 23 CF 5846 AO, battery by strangulation, domestic violence. Ma'am, according to your financial affidavit, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. The public defender is for individuals that are indigent, okay? So I can't provide you with a lawyer. The purpose of today's hearing is to determine conditions of your release. All right, you can't get out of jail until you have this hearing. You can either choose to go forward today without a lawyer and have this hearing, or I can roll this to tomorrow, give you 24 hours to hire a lawyer, and then you can have a lawyer represent you at this hearing. Do you have any questions, and what would you like to do?
I guess we could proceed. I gotta get back to work.
Okay. State, any input?
Your Honor, she appears to qualify for pretrial release. State has no objection.
All right, ma'am, so I can release you through the pretrial release program where you don't have to post a bond to get out with the conditions, no contact with the alleged victim, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence. Is that acceptable to you, or is there anything that you want to tell me, anything you think I should consider in determining conditions of your release?
I need to get clothes from out that residence.
You can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to get your belongings. All right, thank you. All right, your name, sir?
Harlan Rogers.
All right, odd on bond and 23 CF 4861 AO aggravated stalking with a deadly weapon, neglect of a child. Here today in 23 CF 5763 AO, aggravated stalking after a court prohibition order, tampering with a witness to hinder communication, domestic. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any input from the state?
Your Honor, have you been able to get permission from the trial judge with regard to
Who's
the
the trial
Alton
judge on
bond?
this case?
I don't know, but I thought you had them from everyone.
I was hoping to have it today, but as of this morning, we didn't have an email saying we had it.
Okay, if you cannot revoke the Alton bond, Your Honor, I would have you note that information has been filed in the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and it's the same victim.
Do we know who the trial judge is on that, on the case that he's out on bond?
I can look, Your Honor.
We're stopping this stuff. I get that. The charge coming off. I'll give you the extra charge that I got now.
They added the charges for continuing
What
to.
already added.
It's a warrant. Stop talking.
Judge Nunez Navarro.
Okay, I ain't read nothing, so I ain't signed.
All right, give us a second.
Doesn't matter whether you read it or not, it still applies.
Sign, I ain't gonna sign it regardless. They don't.
She filed charges.
They can.
She did it. It's a warrant.
File charge on me.
Saying you keep texting it.
Where's her?
April 14th.
I went to jail that day. I went to jail that day. Listen, when I bonded out.
It doesn't matter. Stop talking. This is recorded. Another judge already found probable cause. That's a trial issue. Not
Well,
today.
when I bonded out, they was in the hotel. They had no one.
Wait like a minute and see if she, because yours was
They got you on the 20th.
so we.
Of April.
All right, on this new case here, I'll set his bond on count one at $15,000, count two, $150, no contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. I'm gonna take no action on the case that he's out on bond, but I did reach out to Judge Nunez, so if I hear back, we'll readdress it.
Thank you.
PD. You're out on bond or something, you're either on a cash bond, surety bond, Your name, sir?
Edwin Soames.
All right, you're out on violation of probation in 21 MM 6062 AO. You're out on bond on hindering communication to a law enforcement officer, Battery Leo 22 CF 14212 AO. You're here today in 23 CF 5887 AO, kidnapping, aggravated battery, contempt of court, obstruction of justice. Review that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender, state any input with regards to release.
Your Honor, kidnapping is a first-degree felony punishable by life. Defendant isn't entitled to a bond and stay would ask defendant be held no bond.
Any input from the defense?
Defense will have a Arthur hearing, Your Honor.
All right, I'll stay your bond at no bond on count one. Count two, I'll set at 3,500. Count four, 150. Count five, 150. No contact, no return. Maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. In the 21 MM 6062 AO, I'll revoke your release in that case. And the case that the hindering communication to a law enforcement officer and battery on a Leo, I'll take no action on that case.
Which case did you revoke, Your Honor? The VO?
Misdemeanor.
And, Your Honor, that's it, sorry. We'll have a hearing. And I'll let the attorney know. Your Honor, can we approach?
On this case? Which one?
All right.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna revisit the one case, we're waiting on out on bond. Judge Nunez said that, I could revoke his bond on that case, revoke his release. All right, ma'am, your name? 23 CF 5858 AO, aggravated battery, with a weapon, domestic. Review that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
One-time return, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set your bond at $3,500, or I'm sorry, $2,500. No contact, no return, maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons.
And a
And you
one-time
can
return.
return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings.
Okay, thank you.
These are all my cases. Every case is Adam's case. All right, sir, your name?
Jimmy Avila.
23 MM 3088 AO, violation of a domestic injunction. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Your name, sir?
Jefferson Avila.
All right, sir, is there anything that you want to tell me, anything you think the court should consider in determining conditions of his release?
It was just a miscommunication. Everything should have been dropped because we sent emails out and they were communicating with me. So yeah, that should be his release. Why?
All right, state, any questions for him?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
A reasonable bond, Your Honor, and I believe he resides in Utah. Could he be able to return?
All right, set your bond at $500, no contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, and you can return home.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, do you have any questions, sir?
Oh, so what's gonna happen with him?
I gave him a $500 bond, and I said that he can go home, but he's not allowed to have contact with you until we sort this out, and he can't go back to your place. I know this happened at the airport,
Sounds good.
okay?
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor.
So you gotta pay the bond out. Okay?
I can pay for it.
Yep, let them know.
Your name, ma'am?
Yamala Bonilla.
23 MM 3077 AO, one kind of battery, domestic violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Your name, ma'am?
Lady Medina.
All right, ma'am, is there anything that you want to tell me, anything you think the court should consider in determining conditions of her release?
Yes, I would like her to stay away from me, and I would like you to know that she has a very bad anger problem.
State, do you have any questions for her?
No, I don't have any.
Defense, do you have any questions for her?
No questions, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input for the defense?
Your Honor, we're okay with the no contact. I just want to make the court aware that she resides next door. So I know in the no contact order, I believe it says 500 feet. I just ask that you allow her to be able to reside at her home as long as she
Are
continues.
they houses or apartments?
It's a studio apartment.
Okay. Are you the landlord?
My mother is the landlord.
Okay, all right. $500, no contact, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You have to maintain the 500-foot distance unless you're going to or from or staying in your studio apartment, okay, ma'am?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
That's it.
Thank you for being here, ma'am. Your name, sir?
John Brickman.
23 3083 AO, one count of battery, dating violence. Were you interested in the services of the public, or never mind. I reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Your name, ma'am?
Michelle Rincon.
All right, anything that you want to tell me, anything you think the court should consider in determining conditions of his release?
He has a history of domestic violence. He has extreme anger issues, and he needs mental health. Yeah, he has mental health issues
can't look at her.
as well.
All right, do you live together?
We used to, but
Do you want him to come home?
absolutely not.
Okay. Do you want to have contact with him?
No.
Okay.
I'm filing a restraining order today.
I'm sorry?
I'm filing a restraining order today.
Okay. State, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any questions?
Yeah. Is his dog still there?
Yeah, I think his sister's gonna pick him up. His dog.
I'm sorry, say it again?
His sister's gonna pick up his dog.
Okay,
Sister's gonna pick up the
So
dog.
he does, no questions, Your Honor.
All right, any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Oh, he doesn't need the one-time return, just a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set your bond at $1,000, no contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay?
Your Honor, I believe he travels out of state and out of country for his
For the bed bug business?
Yes.
Do you travel out of state for work?
Yes.
Where do you go?
I go to New York and sometimes I leave the country. South America.
Do you have any work trips planned anytime soon?
I do.
When?
Next week.
Where?
I have to go to New York and I have to go to Colombia, South America.
Okay. All right, you can go to New York and Columbia for work.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. Your name, sir?
Christopher Chaluisan.
All right, 23 3080, one count of battery, domestic violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
A reasonable bond and a one-time return.
All right, set your bond at $500, no contact, no return, maintain separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Your name, sir?
Ronald Dorn, Jr.
All right, you're here in 23 221 AA, battery, dating, violence. Review that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
A reasonable bond, Your Honor.
All right, I'll set it at $500. I'll set it at $1,000, no contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. And then you ask for a one-time return?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. No return to the scene.
It's 100 with the bell box. That's it. You just signed the no contact.
Your name, in the back, sir, your name? All right, Mr. Ellis, 23 3074 AO, you're here on one count of battery, domestic violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, her mother lied.
He qualifies for pretrial release. I'd ask for pretrial release.
All right, pretrial release, no contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Does he need a one-time return?
Right? You don't live together. But you don't. You live with the victim.
No, she doesn't live there. Your mother, she lives there. My mother just died and left the house to her.
But is she there?
She called me, this is important.
Okay, do you need to give anything?
Yes, I need to.
A one-time return, Your Honor, yes.
All right, well, you return one time with the assistance of law enforcement. All right, your name? What is it? Your name? All right, 23 220 AO, one count of battery, domestic. Reviewed the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Pretrial release and a one-time return, Your Honor.
Probably means they qualify for PTR. I give him PTR, no contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. And you said one-time return?
Yes, Your
All right.
Honor.
All right, 23 3081 AO, temporarily appoint waiver role.
I will waive, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Your Honor, I'd ask for pretrial release, and again, could we have the same condition as before? Because it appears they live in the same apartment complex, and it says less than 500 feet apart.
All right. PTR, no contact, no return, maintains separate residence. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. He can violate the 500-foot if he's going to his apartment, leaving his apartment, or in his apartment. Your name, sir?
David Knight.
23 3078 AO, one count of battery, domestic violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Pretrial release, Your Honor.
All right, pretrial release, no contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Your name, ma'am?
Emily
And your last name, Emily?
Long.
23 3055 AO, one count of battery, domestic violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Your name, sir?
David Long.
All right. Sir, is there anything that you want to tell me, anything you think the court should consider in determining conditions of her release?
Yes, sir. This is the first time anything like this has ever happened. I'm the sole provider for our family. She stays at home with our children while I'm at work. And I would like to ask the court if you would not put an injunction on her so that she can come home and we can continue our family lifestyle.
State, do you have any questions for him?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Your Honor, I'd ask for a monetary bond as opposed to pretrial.
And then no hostile?
And no hostile contact, correct? Your Honor.
All right, I'll set her bond at $500. No hostile contact. No hostile contact means no physical abuse, verbal abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse. Do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your name, ma'am?
Lincoln Montalvo.
All right, 23 3082 AO, one count of battery, domestic violence. Ma'am, according to your financial affidavit, you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. The public defender is for individuals who are indigent that cannot afford a lawyer, okay? So I can't give you a lawyer. The purpose of this hearing today is to determine conditions of your release. You can't be released from jail until you have a hearing with me today or with her tomorrow, all right? So you can either go forward today without a lawyer, or I can roll this 24 hours for you to hire a lawyer. You can come back and have this hearing tomorrow, but between today and tomorrow, you would stay in jail. You want to have your hearing today without a lawyer, or you want me to roll this to tomorrow?
Today without a lawyer.
All right, state any input?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you qualify for a program called pretrial release, where I can release you without having to post a monetary bond. The conditions would be no contact with the alleged victim, no return to the scene, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. Is that acceptable to you, or is there anything that you want to tell me, anything you think the court should consider in determining conditions of your release?
Sir, I agree.
All right, did you guys live together?
That she moved out yesterday.
Okay, all right. So I've ordered a no return. Is that your house?
Yes.
Okay, so you can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings. If they determine that she does not live there, then you can stay there.
Got it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
PTR, Judge.
PTR.
Yes, ma'am. That's it.
Do I leave it that paper now?
Yep, that's yours. Not.
All right, so your name?
Kellen Morency Lyons.
23 218 AA battery domestic. Review the affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Your Honor, we'd ask for a pretrial release and a one-time return.
All right, PTR, no contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings.
Yep. And this is your attorney's number. There you go. Yep, and that's yours. Mm-hmm.
Your name, sir?
Your name? Say it.
Your name, sir?
Oriel Havercom.
What is it?
Oriel Havercom.
Is it Oriel Phillips?
It's Oriel Havercom Phillips, hyphenated last name.
All right. 23 3084 AO, one kind of battery, dating violence. Review the affidavit, found probable cause. Point the public defender. Any input from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any input from the defense?
Reasonable bond and a one-time return, Your
All
Honor.
right, set it at $500, no contact, no return, maintain separate residence, do not possess any guns, knives, or weapons. You can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to retrieve your belongings. The next one I have is Rivera Elias from Philly. What's your name, sir?
Elias Velez.
All right, so you're here on a out-of-state warrant on an attempted murder, ag assault, and some other stuff. I don't know what VUFA, is that violation of a uniform? I don't know. Anyways, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania wants you. So what'll happen now, there's no bond on this. Someone from the fugitive warrants team will come and visit you and show you some paperwork and explain how that's gonna work, okay? You have any questions? All right, thank you. Yep.
She's not here due to medical.
All right, temporarily appoint waiver roll. All right, 152179 CFA out of county warrant out of Seminole County. According to this, their bond set at no bond. Seminole County has 24 hours to come pick her up, starting now, not counting the weekends. Thank you. Your name, sir?
Mark Bryant.
All right, 22 CF 1746 AO. You have a violation of probation, and then, and that's on one count of carrying a concealed firearm, 2 counts of carrying a concealed firearm. You're here today in 23 CF 5897 AO, sale and delivery of cocaine, possession of cocaine via arrest warrant. According to this warrant, your bond set at $10,000 on count 1, $1,000 on count 2, for a total amount of $11,000. Were you interested in the services of the public defender? Did you want to represent yourself or hire a private attorney?
I have a private attorney.
I'm sorry?
I have a private attorney.
Who's your lawyer?
Christopher Cagle.
Oh, Chris Cagle. So do you want to go forward with this hearing today without Mr. Cagle, or do you want me to roll this to tomorrow morning? You can call Mr. Cagle and he can show up and represent you at this hearing.
Oh, no, I don't want to come back.
You don't want to come back? All right, so you want to stay?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, your bond on the violation of probation is set at no bond. On your sale and delivery of cocaine, I'll stay count 1, count 2, I'll reduce to $150 for you, okay? Your name?
Ricardo Andres Correa Marin.
All right, 19 CF 1600 AO, violation of probation, fraudulent use of a credit card, and grand theft 3rd degree. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. You won't have to do this.
Docket was Richard Herbert.
22 CF 13134, violation of probation, temporarily appoint the public defender, waiver roll.
Waive.
All right, and then also 22 CF 1428 AO, violation of probation. And 23 CF 5859 AO, grand theft 3rd degree of a motor vehicle. Review that affidavit, found probable cause. I'll stay the bond at or I'll set that one at 2,500, and then no bond on his 2 VOPs.
And that was a refusal, right?
Yes, Your Honor, that was a refuser.
Thank you.
Okay. Your name, ma'am?
Elizabeth Hudson.
21 CF 4660, violation of probation on fraudulent ID, grand theft, greater than 750, less than 5,000, trafficking. You're here today in 23 CF 1207 AO, grand theft, 3rd degree of a motor vehicle via probable cause order. According to this, your bond is set at $5,000 with conditions: no contact directly or indirectly with the victim, co-defendant, or witness. Do not return to the scene of the offense. Do not possess any weapons or firearms. I'll appoint the public defender on both those cases. Stay your bond and conditions on that one, and then on your violation of probation, your bond is set at no bond. Your name, sir?
Mohamedou Mara.
All right, sir, 2020 CF 12776 AO, violation of probation on 1 count of possession of ammunition by a convicted felon. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond, and I will appoint the office of the public defender to represent you.
Your Honor, Michael Mateo refused.
He refused. 21 CF 13394 AO, violation of probation, grand theft, greater than 750, less than 5,000. I'll temporarily appoint waiver roll.
Waive.
All right, bond set at no bond. Your name, sir?
Donnell Moore.
22 CF 5908 AO, violation of probation on possession of a controlled substance. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the office of the public
And have
defender to
go back before
represent
the
you.
VOP court. Oh, yeah.
For the possession of cocaine. So how they gonna put one out?
02, CF 7808, violation of probation
He's moving on. Call the attorney.
on, petty theft, third or subsequent conviction. Here today, 23 CF 5850 AO, Dwillis, while driving habitualized, no motor vehicle registration. And 23 3073 AO, possession of drug paraphernalia. Review those affidavits, found probable cause. Temporarily appoint the public defender on those. Waive or roll.
Waive.
All right. On the Dwillis, I'll stay it at 2,500. I'll reduce count 2 to 100. On the paraphernalia, 100, and on the violation of probation, no bond. All right, your name?
Lawrence Olivier.
All right, 12 CF 695, violation of probation on one count of threatening to use any firearm. You're here today in 23 CF 5856 AO, grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. Review that affidavit, found probable cause, point the public defender. I'll set your bond at $2,500, no contact with Destiny Villanueva. And on your violation of probation, your bond is set at no bond. PD on both cases. That's a co-defendant. Your name, ma'am?
Raquel Palacios.
22 CF 1488 AO, you're here on a violation of probation on resisting officer without violence, DUI with property damage. According to this, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Your name, sir?
Raheem Sharp.
Your name?
Raheem Sharp.
All right, 2020 CF 4147 AO, violation of probation on carrying a concealed firearm. According to this warrant, your bond is set at no bond. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. Refuse 2021 CF 12038 AO, violation of probation, temporarily appoint, waive or roll.
Waive, Your Honor.
All right, no bond.
You gotta go back before the judge.
Let that be.
I don't have a date. The attorney has to sign.
Are we ready on the 33s?
I just need to print it, Your Honor.
Okay, let me know whenever you're ready.
Will do.
You won't do these, they only go Monday through Friday. Just put them right there, perfect.
Violated, you know why you violated.
Do we wanna, what do we wanna do about it now? How's everyone feeling? What do we wanna do?
What does that mean? Bathroom? I'm gonna need at least 2 hours,
2 hours?
at least.
All right, should we just come back at 1?
That's good, yes.
Yes? Okay. All right, let me know when you're ready on the 33.
I am ready, Your Honor.
All right.
I just said 2 hours. That's all I said.
Mock 4153 AO.
Denied, information was filed.
Spina 4280.
Granted.
Zhang 2233.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Bird 3923.
Denied, information was filed.
Briscoe 4248.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Forbes, 4260.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Garcia, 3211.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Quintana, 2910.
Denied, information was filed.
Williams, 4173.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Rivera, 4186.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Coppin, 825.
Denied, information was filed.
Coppin, 827.
Denied, information was filed.
Coppin, 826.
Denied, information was filed.
Hurley, 4200.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
All right, that's it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Everything for first, anything else from the state?
I'm sorry?
Anything else?
Oh, nothing from the state.
Defense?
Nothing from defense.
All right.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Christopher Vance, Gray Spanish interpreter, previously sworn.
All right, I'm conducting initial appearances at the jail. Just let me know when you're ready to go.
I'm ready, Your Honor.
All right, we have Cairo Herrera Hernandez. Case number is 23CT1770.
Estamos en la causa 23CT1770.
Right, he has a failure to appear for an arraignment. His bond is currently set at $500.
Se encuentra aquí por incomparecencia judicial y se establece fianza monto total de $500.
All right, thank you, sir. You can have a seat.
Gracias, señor. Puede tomar asiento.
Next court date is still in jail, May 18th. If out, June 19th in courtroom 5B at 8:30 a.m.
Do we have anyone else that needs the services of a Spanish interpreter? There's one guy back there. All right, William Carrasquillo, 23CT1342.
PD appointed.
William Carrasquillo, en la causa 23CT1342, se ha designado defensor público.
Okay. Sir, you have a failure to appear for an arraignment.
Señor, usted se encuentra aquí por incomparecencia a su vista incoatoria.
Your bond is currently set at $0 at this time.
En este momento no se va a establecer fianza.
All right, thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor.
Next court date, May 18th in courtroom 5B at 8:05 a.m.
Anyone
Próxima
else?
fecha de audiencia sería el 18 de mayo en la sala 5B a las 8:05 de la mañana.
There's one more person. You're on mute. Santana Gonzalez. Okay, David Santana Gonzalez, 23CF1339.
PD appointed.
I'll waive the formal reading of the charges.
David Santana González, causa 23CF1339. En este momento no voy a leer los cargos.
Is he in the cage? Oh, okay. All right, sir, I'm going to waive the formal reading of your charges. There's 10 counts.
Señor, en este momento no voy a hacerle la lectura formal de cargos porque tiene 10 acusaciones en su contra.
All right, probable cause has been found.
Determino que existen suficientes indicios razonables de criminalidad
You are entitled to a bond.
y también tiene derecho a que se establezca una fianza.
All right, state, would you like to be heard as far as the bond?
Fiscalía, ¿qué quiere decir acerca de la fianza?
Your bond is to count one is set at $5,000.
La fianza con respecto al primer cargo se fijará de un monto total de $5,000
Your bond is to count two is set at $5,000.
y con respecto al segundo cargo también se impone fianza de $5,000.
Your bond is to count three is set at $5,000.
Con el tercer cargo también $5,000
Count four is $5,000.
y con respecto al cuarto cargo $5,000.
Count five, $5,000.
Cargo número 5, $5,000.
Count six, $5,000.
Cargo número 6, $5,000.
Count 7, $5,000.
Con respecto al cargo número 7, $5,000.
Count 8, $5,000.
Con respecto al cargo número 8, se impone fianza de $5,000.
Count 9, $5,000.
Con respecto al noveno cargo, se impone fianza de $5,000.
Count 10, $5,000.
Con respecto al cargo número 10, se impone fianza de $5,000.
You're not to have any access to the internet.
Prohibido el acceso a la internet
You're not to have any contact with anyone under the age of 18.
y prohibido el contacto con cualquier persona menor de 18 años.
Anything else, State?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you, sir. You can have a seat.
¿Algo adicional de la Fiscalía? No, su señoría. Bien, señor, toma asiento.
Next court date on demand.
Se le notificará cuánto sería su próxima audiencia.
All right, anyone else?
On demand.
On demand. All right, thank you, sir. All right, thank you, Mr. Interpreter. Have
You're
a good
welcome, Your
weekend.
Honor. Thank you. You too.
So we have a Jose Lopez Garcia, out of County Warren, Hillsborough County. All right, sir. You have an out-of-county warrant from Hillsborough. You do have a bond, and that amount is $250. All right, thank you. Mr. Hater Augusto Goldtree, 23 CT 801. It's COLTRE. All right, sir, you have a private counsel on your case. I was given a violation of your probation. Looks like you picked up a new law offense in addition to not completing community service hours, as well as owing cost of supervision. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's currently set at 0 at this time. Thank you.
Next court date, May 18th, in courtroom 5B at 8:05 a.m.
Valerie Marie Santiago Rodriguez, 23 MM 291.
PD has been on this case since February 7th, 2023.
Good afternoon. You failed to appear for arraignment. Your bond is currently set at $5,000, okay? Thank you.
Next court date is still in jail, May 18th, in file, May 22nd, in courtroom 4A at 8:15 a.m.
Mark Thompson, 2008 CT 5305. As well as 2008 CT 5306. I have a failure to appear on a written promise for each of these cases. You do have a bond set, and it's $1,000 for each case. All right, thank you, sir. Oh, never mind, hold on. There's additional cases. For the 2008 CT 5304, it's a failure to appear on a written promise. Your bond is set at $1,000. And 2008 CT 5307, a failure to appear on written promise, and that bond is set at $2,000. All right, and that should be all of your cases.
Next court date for 2008 CT 5305, 2008 CT 5306, 2008 CT 5304, and 2008 CT 5307 is still in jail May 18th and filed May 22nd in court 5, 4A at 9 a.m.
All right, thank you. Ernest Amadon, 23 CF 1341, 23 CF 1342. All right. Good afternoon. On your first case, you were arrested for controlled substance and possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond will be stayed at $2,000 as to count 1 and $2,000 as to count 2. This is going to be bonds with PTR. So on the first case, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs. It's going to be random drug testing. For your second case, 23 CF 1342, I do find probable cause as to possession of cocaine as well as possession of controlled substance without a prescription, and that one's fentanyl. Again, I do find probable cause. This is gonna be bonds with PTR. Your bond as to count 1 will be stayed at $2,000. As to count 2 is gonna be stayed at $2,000. Again, you are not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs, and it's gonna be random drug testing. All right, thank you. Jakari Anderson, 23MM1061.
Kitty appointed.
Hello, you were arrested for 1 count of battery. I do find probable cause for your arrest. You do not qualify for PTR. Your bond's gonna be set at $1,500. Oh, okay, that's fine. Just 1 second, Mr. Anderson. Come on up, ma'am. Are you Ms. Garman? Yes. Okay. Ms. Garman, go ahead and raise your right hand. Don't say anything, Mr. Anderson.
I'm not saying that. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes.
Okay, go ahead and put your hand down. Tell me, don't say anything about the facts of your case. I just want to know if you want to have contacts with them.
Okay, no, but he wasn't supposed to go to jail. I was not looking for press charges.
Okay, well, that's at a later date. We're just at the very beginning. This is just me reviewing to see if there's enough probable cause for his arrest. I did determine that there is enough probable cause. My question to you, and my only question to you, is do you want to have contact with him?
He's fine. That's my child's father.
Okay, so with that being said, I have some additional questions. I do understand he is the father of your children. I do understand that you love him. However, my job is to protect you. So I want you to understand that if there's a provision of the no contact order, if that's deleted, then there's no way that I can protect you if something like this is, may happen again.
Okay, yeah, I don't need protection. Like I said, I tried to talk to the officer that was taking him in, but they didn't want to hear what I had to say because a neighbor called the police.
Okay. Let me ask you this. If something like this was to happen again, would you call the police?
If something like this was to happen?
Yes.
To be honest, nothing happened. That's what things got took out of context, yeah.
Outside of this context, let's just say he puts his hands on you and he hurts you. Would you call the police?
If he ever was to put his hands on me, I would call the police. If he ever was to put his hands on me, but he didn't.
All right, well, let me ask you another question. Are there any weapons or firearms in the home?
I have a firearm. I have a license permit.
Okay. Does he have access to that firearm?
No, he doesn't touch firearms. He doesn't do that. I always lock away my firearm.
Okay, all right. And you wish to have contact with him?
Yeah.
No one's forcing you to come in here and be like, make sure you tell the judge you want to have contact?
No, I haven't spoken to him and had any contact with him since he was arrested. I haven't spoken to him.
Okay, all right. The state may have some additional questions for you.
Okay.
I do, thank you. You mentioned that he's the father of your child?
Yes.
How many kids do you guys have together?
I'm currently pregnant now.
Okay, and do you have any other children or just the one that you're
I
currently
have
caring?
other children. Outside. I have other children, but those are not.
Okay, and do they live with you?
Yes.
How old are they?
They're 10 and 11.
10 and 11, okay. And were they there the day that the police came?
No, they weren't.
Okay. And the day that the police came, were either you or him drinking any alcohol that day?
No.
No?
Go ahead and place yourself on mute, defense.
And you said that a neighbor called the police that day?
Yes.
Did you also call the police that day?
No, I didn't call. They just showed up knocking at the door.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, Judge.
All right, defense, do you have any questions? All right, state, do you have a position?
The state objects to the court granting a no hostile contact. I understand that the victim's testifying that nothing occurred, but the statements in the police report do contradict that. She was seen to have injuries to her back, her finger, and her right eye. She included, her right eye was swollen. She had a laceration to her finger and 2 deep bite marks on her back. It appears that it really should be an aggravated battery on a pregnant person if she's carrying a child at this point, and given that allegation, as well as the facts of this case, I'm asking for no contact at this point. It's certainly something that can be revisited once there's been some time for the parties to cool down, but at this time, I think it should remain no contact.
But
hold, say anything. Any arguments from defense? Thank you, sir. Ms. Garman, I do understand that you want to have contact with him, okay? And I do understand that you're saying that nothing happens, but I have to rely on what the charging affidavit says at this time.
They don't even have to say, yeah, you can do a statement anyway, so.
I don't have the statements, but I do have what is in the report. So this is what I'm gonna do right now. He is entitled to a bond, okay? His bond amount is gonna be set at $1,500. He does not qualify for PTR, but the conditions will be that you all are not to have any contact at this time. It doesn't mean that you can't modify the no contact order. You can certainly do so at a later date, but since this just happened, I need you all to cool off for a little bit, okay?
So where is he supposed to live?
He's got to get a hotel or stay with some friends, but right now he's not to return to the location that's listed on the charging affidavit. I will give him a one-time assistance with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items that he has in the home, but you all have to maintain a separate residence at this time. He's not to possess any weapons or firearms, okay? Again, this is for right now. You can always modify my no contact order, all right?
So how do I modify it?
You have to contact his defense attorney. I believe he has a public defender on his case. So you can always go to the first floor. They're at the end of the building, and you can speak with one of his attorneys. Okay? All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, thank you, sir.
I love you.
Donald Camp, 23 CF 1343. Hi, Mr. Camp. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
I thought I wasn't gonna see you for a while. What happened?
Oh, I'm just saying, working right now. You know, and I'm went in the store trying to steal something.
How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good.
All right, all right. Well, I got a few cases here for you. Let's talk about the new case.
All right.
It's 23 CF 1343. It charges petty theft, third or subsequent offense.
Right.
State, I reviewed the charging affidavit. It doesn't list any of the prior cases.
I noticed the same thing, Your Honor. It does appear that we have probable cause, at least for the petty theft.
We do.
But I did not see the prior incidents either. I'm fine with the court just finding the probable cause for the petty theft. I will note for the record, in addition, Mr. Camp is out on bonds on several cases. Most of them are in front of other judges, and I know with the recent ruling, we can't address those potentially here at initial appearances. He is out on bonds on one case that is currently before you, Your Honor, for loitering and prowling, and that's in 2023 MM 975. He was arrested on that case on April the 26th.
All right. And Mr. Camp does have competency issues.
Yes.
I don't know what the recent reports say, but this is what I'm going to do. For 23 CF 1343, I find probable cause, but it's just for the simple petty theft, which is a misdemeanor. Your bond amount is going to be $250. Please do not return to... I'm sorry? Oh, no, sir. Not, no. Got to file the appropriate motion for ROR due to his pending incompetency. We can't handle that in initial appearances. Then you have to file the appropriate motion. It cannot be heard during initial appearances. No, the bond amount is $250 because I only found probable cause on the misdemeanor. And no return to the scene of the offense. Now, Mr. Camp was on ROR for 23 CF 1118. Going to revoke, set that at 0, as well as 23 MM 975. That's going to be revoked and set at 0 at this time. Again, defense counsel, please file a written motion, and you can have it heard in front of the trial judge. All right, thank you, Mr. Camp.
Next court date on demand.
Hassan Childs, 23 CF 1344, 23 MM 1062.
Denied above guidelines.
Mr. Childs, I need to make sure that you understand that you did not qualify for the public defender's office, so you need to hire your own private attorney, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so your two cases, the first one is 23 CF 1344. Count 1 is driving while license suspended or revoked. I do find probable cause. The bond's gonna be stayed at $500. The second count is a failure to obey law enforcement. I do find probable cause. Your bond's gonna be set at $1,500. Your second case, 23 MM 1062. It's resisting arrest without violence. I do find probable cause. Your bond's gonna be stayed at $500. Please do not drive until you obtain a valid driver's license, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Next court date on demand.
Joel Daniel, 23 CF 1345.
How you doing?
Doing well, Mr. Daniel. What are you gonna do about getting a lawyer for this case?
I got a family attorney. I thought I was gonna bond out already, so I didn't think they was gonna have to be here right now.
Oh, okay. Well, you're arrested for grand theft auto. I find probable cause. Your bond is currently set at $1,000, okay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Jenna Jackson, 23 MM 1063.
Meeting appointed.
Ms. Jackson, I have two counts, petty theft and resisting arrest without violence. You okay? I can't see your face that great. Y'all, yeah, I can see you now. You all right? Okay. All right, so I'm reviewing your arrest affidavit. I do find probable cause. As to count 1, your bond's gonna remain at $500. Count 2, your bond's gonna remain at $500. Please do not return to the Walmart located at 4400 and 13th Street in St. Cloud, Florida. Now, you were out on bond when you picked up this new case. You're out on bond on 23 CF 1120. I'm gonna have to revoke your bond and set you at 0 at this time, okay? Just go ahead and speak with your defense attorney. Jamal Kelly, 23 CF 1346.
Meeting appointed.
He bonded out, all right. What about Robert Lutz, 23 CF 1340, is that 67 or 47? 47.
Meeting appointed.
All right, good afternoon, sir. Reviewed a charging affidavit for fleeing attempting to elude. I do find probable cause. The bond's gonna be set at $3,000 at this time, okay? All right, thank you, sir. Avalise Rodriguez, 23 CF 1348.
Meeting appointed.
I reviewed the charging affidavit, 2 counts. 1 count's grand theft, the second one's altering, destroying, conceal, or removing property. I do find probable cause. Your bond as to count 1 will be stayed at $2,500. Your bond as to count 2 will be stayed at $2,500. Now, you're out on bonds when you picked up these new charges. So 23 CF 333, I'm gonna revoke and set that at 0 at this time. And no contact with your co-defendant, Destiny Wallace. Oh, I didn't have that on my paper. What? Oh, okay, 23 CF 334, the controlled substance? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna revoke that and set it at 0. Thank you. Destiny Wallace, 23 CF 1349. Ms. Wallace, you were arrested for The same thing, grand theft, altering, destroying the property, find probable cause as to each count. Count 1, bond will be stayed at $2,500. Count 2, bond will be stayed at $2,500. Again, no contact with co-defendant. And I didn't say this before, no contact with the alleged victim as well on both cases. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Kareem White, 23 CT 2057.
Meeting appointed.
Mr. White, you have a driving while license suspended case. I do find probable cause. Your bond's going to be stayed at $500. You're out on bond. It looks like an Orange County case, 22 CF 7668. I'm going to revoke that bond and set you at 0. You're on probation in Orange County for 22 CT 3693. I find an on-view violation, so that's going to be set at 0 at this time. All right, thank you, sir.
Next court date, May 18th, in court room 5B at 8:05 a.m.
All right, that concludes my docket. Have I missed anyone? All right, thank you so much. You all have a good weekend. Court's adjourned.